Hey guys, what's up? Jerry here, and welcome to the officially this is the first part of this tutorial, but it's actually the second part, but it's the first part to me. You know what I mean? On the first part, we learn how to set up the reference image for modeling in Blender. So we use the same the same blueprints for the mobile phone. So we're gonna do the same and continue from this part on, but now uh, we are using it now for actual modeling. So let me just say Z and solid, and then it's on solid actually. Where is the cube? Oh, I put a plane. X delete. So I'm gonna put in the cube instead of the plane. Shift A, cube. It's quite big. Remember, the reason is so big is because of the size of the mobile that we have to have on the screen. Instead of modeling with the whole box this size, we're going to use this size. That's on the on what do you call it? The size that's on the blueprint, because we did the proper sizes on, yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying. So let's start by selecting this. I don't want to move the cube to the I don't want to move the cube. I want the center of the cube to be right in the center of the scene. So I'm not going to move the cube. Instead, rather, I'm going to align the blueprints. GZ. I'm moving the blueprints up because I want the center of the model to be the center of the scene. So let's see if that is going to work on this part. If I say scale, I want it to scale down to the point where I can have the cube. It's pretty much the same, so it's not going to work this way. So I'm going to have to GZ again, move the blueprint up until it's aligned in such a way that we can use both, in such a way that we can use the cube but without having to move it around. So we're just gonna move this blueprints GZ. It's gonna be pretty simple if we do it this way than if we had to model there, because I want, if we ever have to give this model away, sell it on TurboSquid, whatever, it's going to be easier if we already have it set up on the center. I like clean work. I want my work to be clean so that people who might have to buy it don't have to stress about oops, I'm scaling the wrong thing there. I'm supposed to scale the cube. I'm supposed to select the cube and scale the cube. Is that a cube? Yeah. Scale X. So I like my work to be a little bit cleaner. So I don't want to be selling a model that's hard to use. So I prefer things to be on the if I don't even know why I'm talking about selling the model, but yeah, you know what I mean. If you ever have to do that, you might find that problematic. So look at this. So this is going to be 72 point something, 76.2. Let's see. 58 millimeter. The dimensions are X is 76.2. I think it's supposed to be 76.2. Let's see, 72.6. Sorry, my bad. 72.6. It's gonna be 72.6 millimeter. So this is the perfect size. This is it here, and then I'm gonna do that was the x-axis. So we're gonna do the y-axis, which is gonna be from this one to that one. It's 9 millimeter. So the y-axis is going to be 9 millimeter. It's going to be this one over here. 9. Enter. So if we go to number 3, so you see that it's perfectly aligned. Not perfectly aligned, perfectly sized. So G, Y, I'm going to move it forward, moving the cube forward to align it with the mobile phone on the this side. Yeah, that is perfectly aligned. And then I'm gonna do control 1. Okay, and then let's see. So in front it's aligned, on the side it's aligned. So control 1, I'm going to align it. On control 1, I'm going to align it by moving. It's perfectly aligned actually. Yeah, this is nice. Control 1, it's at the back. This is the back, and then on 1, it's on the front. So it's perfectly aligned on all sides. That's perfect. So we can just start modeling now. Let's go to Z, solid. You can see that the cube is there. When you hit number 3, the cube is there. Control 1, the cube is there. So that's perfect. So let's start modeling now. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit tab. And I want it to be on, it's fine on edge select mode, and control R. I'm going to put a loop cut right at the center, and control R again, put another loop cut right at the center over here, and then I'm going to go to vertex select mode, which is over here, and then I'm going to go to Z wireframe and select these vertices, the bottom vertices. Let's see, B, and then control another B, and then I'll select again and select this one. So I've selected the vertices here. It's the reason I'm going to wireframe, I'm going to be able to select the front and the back, but if it was on solid state, so on solid view part, I would only be able to select the front. It doesn't let you select the back vertices, so that is the reason for that. So I'm going to hit, actually this, I have to deselect this and that. B with middle mouse wheel, you see that this is selected. I'm going to hit B, deselect that, B, deselect this by holding down the middle mouse wheel. It's the one that deselects. And then B again, select all this, and then hit X vertices. So now we have only this corner here. You see this part here. The reason I'm doing that is because of I want to use the mirror modifier to have it covering all sides, so that if I do if I modify this corner here, it will do the same on all of them, so that we don't have to model all the sides one by one. So that's the best part. So I add the mirror modifier, and then you see that this side here is added, this side here, because it's selected on the x-axis. So it's from here to here, this is the x-axis, so it's adding the a copy of this on the other side to reflect. Yeah, it's like a mirror. So now we want even the z-axis, which is this bottom part, to have that edge. So we're going to select the Z, and then it's selecting all. You see now we have that frame. It's just a frame, it's on the sides. So what we're going to do now is select this. You see now it's selecting that edge. If I was on the edge select mode, you would realize that it's only the edge that's selected. So on a front view, I'm gonna hit Control B and move my mouse. When you move the mouse, you see it's starting to create this bevel here. So in order to make it curve, not with two vertices, you can add the number of edges by scrolling the middle mouse wheel. It would add, and then you move it again. So there is it, and I'm gonna add another one and come closer. That's fine. It tends to not give me the actual corner that I want, but it's fine. Actually, what we can do, because we realize that this is not really aligning properly, it's fine. We can just go to vertex select mode, just click on the side so that it deselects everything, and then you can just move this one manually. I really don't mind doing that. Actually, I'll leave this one here. This one, I'll just GX, move it on the x-axis to bring it back, something like here, and then move this one, G, and then I'm gonna move it here. It's up to me, totally up to me. I want it to be perfect. So you see it's doing that. Sometimes the reason for that is because of, you see, the alignment is not quite aligned here with the blueprints. So that's the reason sometimes you find that there's that little bit of inconsistency or whatever you can call that. Yeah, so that is that. And then now we're gonna go to the numpad number 3. We're gonna hit 3, and then we are on the side view. So what I want to do on the side view, guys, is this. I want to because it's just on the outside, I want all the vertices to be on the right places. So I'm going to select this, scale Y, and move it like so. Oops. Scale Y. It's supposed to move with that. Yeah, something like that. This is what I want to do. And then this one, it looks fine, but maybe I can move it in a little bit. Scale Y. Move it in just a tad. Something like that. And select this one again. Scale Y. Move it in. And select this, scale Y, move it in like so. Let's see, it's sitting properly. I think I like that, the way it's sitting. And then I'm going to go up, take this, scale Y, move it in so that it can just sit on the perfect edges, something like that. Let's see, sitting perfect. I like the way it is. So if you go to Z solid, you can see that it's like that. So what I want to do now that it's like this, we can actually, let's just make sure that everything is touching. All these edges are touching. So we're going to select clipping and then just come to the front view again, select this, move it to the side, to this side, so that you know that it's actually touching. G, X, move it, it's properly touching. Select the bottom one, this one over here, this one. G, Z, make sure it's touching. Perfect. And now that it's touching and it's perfect, we're gonna add another modifier on it, which is going to be the solidify modifier, just to give it some thickness. Let's see, from the front view, if we add the thickness of the solidify modifier, I can't remember actually the order in which this should be, if there's any specific order, so but I think it's fine. So let's just try to increase the millimeters here to see the thickness. So the thickness seems to be around this. This seems fine. Z, wireframe. You see, I'm looking at the top line here. I'm not too worried about this for now. I'm gonna do this manually. Really, I think I need to do that manually. It's gonna be easy because of, guys, we have a mirror modifier. So we're moving the vertices this side, the other ones will follow on the other sides. So I don't think it's a big deal. So this 30 millimeters seems to be a little bit too much. Let's just go back a bit. Let's see. 30 looks fine. Let's go 29 and see. Even 29 or 28 should be fine. Let's see, 28 millimeter. So it looks fine for me. I'll leave it there. And then in order for us to start doing that again, to move this manually, we're gonna have to apply this modifier. So let's go to modify. First we go to object mode, not edit mode, object mode, and then we go to this here and apply. And when you go to this, now it's applied. So that means we can modify this, we can control those. The reason if it's a modifier, you can't move any vertices manually, but if it's applied, you can. So I'm gonna select this on the wireframe. Make sure you're on the wireframe so that we can select the back vertices as well. G, X. I'm just gonna move this a little bit back. I prefer it that way. And then this one, G, I'm gonna move it this way down. I just want it to have the proper thickness, guys. That's the reason I'm doing this. G, and I'm gonna move it down over here. And this, actually these ones, because they look like they're on one line, I'm gonna select them all by B select. I'm gonna B box select. Let's see, let me deselect and make sure that nothing's selected, and move this box select like that. So I've selected this and this too. G, X, I'm gonna move it forward like that. So you see I'm moving all of them at the same time. So now it's making it look much better, and I don't think there's a need for me to worry about this, whether it's curving properly, whether the sides are equal. It doesn't really matter. We can actually just modify this one a little bit. I think I want to push it backwards a little like so, and for me it's fine. Like, I think I like that. And then when you go to Z solid, you can see now that we have that. And even though we have it like this, it's blocky. You can see that the corners are very sharp, so we're going to add a modifier. We're going to hit tab, go to object mode. Let's have a look. Yeah, object mode, and go to another modifier. Now there's subdivision surface. So when we add that, it becomes a pretty nice and smooth. So I'm going to put it on level 2 for the levels, the viewport levels 2, and then you can see it's a little bit much better as well. And then now we're going to go to object mode, object shade smooth to make it smoother. Now there's something that is happening, I think, on the over here it's not showing, but over here there's some black shading there. The reason for that is that there is a face between, let's go to tab. There's a face. When you come to this, if we were on the face select mode, there is a face inside here, and I don't want that face. So that is the reason you see this happening. So I'm going to disable the mirror on the x-axis so that we can delete this face. Let's have a look. Yeah, this face here. Hit X, delete the face. So it must just be an opening like that, and then you can enable that mirror. So when you come here, you see that shading, that weird shading is gone. That was because there was a face there, so the face was almost like pulling these edges inwards a bit. So that is the reason for that. So now we don't have that weird shading, and then we have the edge of the phone. Now, guys, we can go to the front view and look at it, and we don't really see the proper reflection of what the phone looks like because we don't have the actual model, the phone model to reference with. So I'm going to move this up a bit, just like that, and here I'm gonna close this. Instead, I'm gonna open, and the references here, I think I have a phone model. So we're gonna look at this and just see how it is. We can look at that, but this doesn't show the sides. So the sides are better visible on this part here of the phone. So let's look at this. Looking at it, for me, I think that this particular border is fine, but a little bit inwards, there's this glass now that moves exactly where this thing ends, where this silver metal thing, the chrome thing, if it's chrome, I don't know, where it ends. There's a start of what you call of the glass starts right there. So I'm gonna bring it closer so that you can see. And if I close this one again and open the next one in the references and open this one, let's have a look. Probably this one will show. This doesn't show the sides. Yeah, that's the bad part. I was supposed to have all sides, but I think that other one shows better reference, this one over here. So you can see this is where we're gonna start. We're gonna start doing this class here. We did a frame, even though it's not quite exactly because we don't have these holes, we don't have that SIM card or thing, SIM card or what do you call it? Normally this is a SIM card or memory card slot. We don't have that, and then we don't have these holes. All these holes are not there. So we're just gonna do the frame first. So I'm going to select this again and hit tab, come to edit mode, and what I want to do, I want to show you something. Now that we have the frame modeled, we go into create the glass, which is this part. So the glass curves according to the frame. You see where the frame ends, the glass starts. Like here on the curve, this part here would be the glass again, and then even here there will be a glass going around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with that curve the way it is. So the easier way to do that is Control R, add a loop cut over here, right in the center, add the loop cut, and then okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the front. Oh, the loop cut is kind of weird. You know why? Because it's if I select this, it's gonna select all the way around over to the side. So, but we don't want that. We just want to select the front. So I'm going to go to the top view, Z, wireframe. So you see it's selected at the back. So we don't want the back to be selected. So I'm going to B select. with the middle mouse wheel deselect the back. So I'm going to come to the front view. The front is selected, the back is not. So I'm going to come to this side here. No, to front. Let's have a look. Which side I've selected? The front, yes. I'm going to hit Shift D and then P. Let's see. And then P, yes, by selection. So I've selected that, and then when I hit object mode, there is a frame. Frame is the big one, and then there's a frame 01, which is this front view one. I'm going to change that to screen. So it's no longer frame, it's screen. So let's select the screen over here, and come to the front view, and then tap, and then yeah, tap. Let's have a look. This one, tap, and on the Z solid. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to select the vertices and go straight with the vertices. So select this one and come to the front view, extrude X, move it to the X-axis, bring it to the center. Select the second one, extrude X, move it to the front, and I just want to see what happens. Extrude X, move it to the center, and then select this one, extrude X, move it to the center. So what I'm doing here is creating a kind of a, what do you call it, a kind of the glass, actually the glass, but I'm just roughly doing it. It's going to curve according to this, which is wrong, but we're gonna move the vertices one by one. We're going to extrude where we have to extrude it to make it work. So let's see. I'm going to select that again, extrude X, move it on the X-axis to the center. So now we have everything this way. But now here's what is happening, and where the challenge could be is that this goes according to the shape of this, but we want this part here to start still here. Yes, it's fine, but the other part, maybe something like from where? Let's see, from which one? Let's see, from numpad 3. We want this one here to start going, this one here, Z wireframe. So we want this one over here, everything from here, G, Y, to go straight according to the glass, to flow straight according to the glass. So this one here is fine, but the rest of this must go forward, but they can't all go forward because of now there will be a space here, so we have to create other ones here. So that's why I'm gonna go to the front view, Z solid, and let's start first by filling out the faces. I'm gonna select this and hit F, close that, come to this one, F, come to this one, F, come to this one, F. Now you see that into close that glass properly, and then come to this one, F. So everything is quite filled out nicely, except it goes according to the curve. So we don't want that. So we're gonna hit tab and choose K and hit K for knife tool. So I'm going to do the knife tool, and I'm gonna select this, come down to this, select that, come down to this, all the way to the center, all the way to this one, and hit something like that, and hit enter. So now we have a different Z, we have a different loop cuts here, cut here. So I'm gonna select this, I'll show you. Select this and select this, select this, select this, and come to the numpad 3, GY, move them to the Y-axis, something like that to make them straight, and then scale Y0 to make sure they are scaled straight, and come to the front view again and this is fine. You see, this is going like that, it's not quite going like that. So let's go to Z, solid. Now this looks pretty good so far, except that there's a little bit of weirdness going on here which we have to fix. So tap again and let's see what part of this can we move forward to make sure that we don't get that weirdness going on here, because this is fine. I think otherwise we might have to cut again here. We might have to select this edge here. Let's have a look. X edge. I'm deleting the edge, and then I'm gonna add a knife tool again here, so I might have to cut it all the way. So K again for the knife tool. I'm gonna start here, come here, and come here, and hit enter. So that's fine. And then go to the vertexes, and then now start filling it out as quads so that it doesn't give us that problem again. Hit F, select this, select that, select this, select this, hit F, it closes much better. And you can see now that there's no weirdness. The only thing that has to work is now we have to straighten this. So we're gonna hit tab and select this, and come to the side view kind of, and GY, move it forward, forward. This side looks fine. Move this one again, GY, forward. It must look straight and forward. So now it does kind of look straight, but we're gonna have GX, we're gonna move it to the X axis so that it's not too weird. Let's have a look. Control Z. Let me just Control Z. Let's select this as well to move it to the side. Let's have a look. GX. Let's move it to the X axis, something like this, close to the edge. And we're gonna try and move this one kind of GY, forward, something like here. And then let's have a look, because what we need to have when we do this, we need this to be slightly looking like that. So it must look pretty straight. Let's see, this edge here looks too sharp. We can actually just select this. On the edge select mode, we're going to select this and select that. No, I'm gonna go a little bit closer. Select this, and GY, move it back, move it quite backward, something like that. Tap, and then you see now it's pretty nice. And let's shade it smooth and see if it looks pretty good. It looks pretty nice. So the glass looks pretty good. And let's have a look. Tap. If I select the outer edges, can they select all the way around? Z, wireframe. It's not selecting all the way around, so we might have to manually select them. And something like that. And let's see. Solid. Can we, let's try to increase this and come to tool, item, and increase that just to see. Let's have a look. Z, solid, just to see if that helps to kill that unnecessary curve. Not too much. It kind of helped, but let me not make it all the way to 1. Let's see. Yeah, but I think we might have to keep let's just move these vertices around, especially this one over here, G, something like this looks better. And these ones, Z, wireframe, let's bring them outer a little outside this GY, a little bit out. This one GY, GY, I want it to come out a little bit. Z, nope, Z, solid. So let's have a look. Tap. Now it looks much better. I'm not quite sure if I'm missing anything. For me it looks like it looks covered. It looks covered. So we have the screen. So now that we have the screen for the front, the back is still open, but the back is actually the same thing, even though that it will work as a cover, not as a thing. So we have to select that and add the Y modifier, so it's closed also at the back. Tap. You see what the modifiers are doing? They are actually helping us a lot. So tap, and then I'm gonna come to the front view, select this, come to the wireframe side, and GY, move the, okay, so if I tap, select everything, GY, and move it forward a little, and tap. So I want to see if I have to move the vertices back. Front, tap. So I want to see if I have to, let me just remove that main crease, guys. I just don't want this main crease for now. I don't want the main crease, and I'm just going to see, I want to modify these things, and I know that I might have to do that, but I don't think I want to have the main crease already troubling me. Yeah, let me not have the main crease for now, and tap, let's see. So there is a slight of a space, so I just want to select those edges and move them manually, like so. Let's have a look, and GY, and yeah, like that, and then this one GY alone, and let's see, G, there's that one, X, vertice, delete it, select that one, GY, move it back, something like that, and tap. So we have the phone and we have the glass. We have the phone and we have the glass. I think instead, so now this one here, remember that when we created the screen, let's hide the screen. Let's hide the screen. And let's come back to this. And remember that we created an edge loop here. We don't really need that edge loop. So I'm going to hit X, dissolve edges. So all the edges that I created, I've deleted them. They helped us to get a screen. Oh yeah, the reason things were not working out. So you see, after I remove those edges, things looks much better. So this is how the phone looks now. So we have this front and the back. Everything is Control S. Let's see, Control S. We saved it, and then from the front view, the phone is modeled. From the side, the phone is modeled. And I might still, okay, let's see if I can move the vertices around and bring them backward. Tap, select the screen actually, and select this, and come to this side, select this, and then come to the side, and GY, move it to the Y-axis to close, something like to close, like that. Tap, and then let's go around and see it's pretty nice and closed. So we have that seal done. Control S. So everything is done, guys. I think this is the end of the tutorial. I'm kidding, guys. So we're gonna have to come to the bottom of the phone. So let's see, Control 7. So now if we say Control 7 and look at this from a close-up point, what could be a challenge. So what could be a challenge is that the edge here looks like it's sharper. So we might have to add the sharpness of that edge. Let's just go back like so. This is too curved, but here it looks like on this mobile phone, it looks like it's a little bit sharper curve there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Select this and hit tab, but we're going to see it from the top because of we still have a mirror modifier applied to it, so it's not quite as rounded. So maybe we should add 2 loop cuts and close and hit that tab. So tab, you see this looks like it's a little bit better, but I think maybe 1. Control Z. Let's not add those loop cuts together. Let's add 1. Control R, add 1 loop cut and move it over here. Or actually not add a loop cut. Control Z. Let's see. What if we select this and increase that? Select it and increase it and see. Yeah, it creates this kind of an edge. So we can just add that and tap. Let's have a look. It looks much better, but it looks too much out instead of just going outside a little bit, not so much. So the glass might have to be bigger. Let's have a look. If we select the glass and let's have a look and scale it and scale the glass a little, select the glass, scale it out, not so much. Let's have a look. Tip. Does it look fine? No. Let's not scale it. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Let's see. Tap. Tap. Let's see this one. Tap. We're gonna increase it and make it a lot sharper, and then we're gonna bring it in. So, but if we bring it in, let's bring the glass out rather. Z wireframe. So let's bring the edges of the glass out. Let's select, what are we selecting? The glass. No, let's select the screen, tab, and now let's Z solid, and we're gonna move the glass out a bit. So let's GY the glass back, something like this. Okay, we are bringing it to the forward, and then select this part and that part, and GZ, we're bringing it up to something like that to cover the glass. This GX, something like this, a lot out, and this one a lot to the Z. And then let's have a look. We want to make sure that everything is covered here. So there is one here, GY. Let's bring it on the y-axis, something like this. GY, this, something like this, and let's come to the front view. This looks fine. G, I'm gonna bring it up even more, and then GX all the way. It must cover a little bit of the frame even more. GX over to the frame. It must cover the frame. Half of the frame must be covered by the glass. So we're gonna come down here, select this one, GX, move it over to the frame to cover the frame. So tap. So for me now, it looks very much covered. If you look at it, looks very much covered. I'm not sure what's going on in the back. If the back looks like it's gone backward, so let me just remove the Y for now. and fix this front and see if it's sitting properly. So I don't want this curving stuff going on here, so I'm gonna select this GY. Let's see if I can straighten that up. And GY, let's have a look. Vertices, so this one, so this looks perfect. So now I think, so even from the front it looks fine, the screen, the rooms is there, the space is still there. I'm just wondering why I don't see it. Oh, I can see the space even this side. So we're gonna have to select that, select, I'll accept this one. Yeah, select this one and GY, move it inward like that and tap. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's perfect. So now it's covered. It's covered on all sides. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. So this is how it is for that. And then at the bottom here it's not quite covered, so we're gonna have to move to the top view as well and tap, select this, select that, and GY, move it back like that inside and tap. It's perfect. And then now here there's weird shading going on here. This is because of the vertices are not seated properly. So GX, I'm gonna move it a little bit on the x-axis, and let's see, do I need to move it on the y-axis as well? And GY a little bit on the y-axis. Let's see, tap. So perfect. Now the shading is better. So tap. I think I need to move this edge backwards. Let's have a look. This edge, GY backward a bit to give us that curve. Tap. So it looks perfectly moved. Tap. Let's move this one also. GY, move it Y a little bit, tap, and then Control S. So we have done the screen, and then now we can add that Y modifier to make sure that it's covered in the back of the phone as well, and Control S, save it. So it's saved. So if we could look at it from this angle here and zoom quite in, something like this, we need it to be something like that. The way this phone is, something like that, and zoom in. So this part here is that part. And do we need a screen to go a little bit further up on the edge on the side? It looks like it's moving again, quite weird. So but on this top view here, let's have a look. This side looks fine. This side looks like the vertices are on the right place. So GZ, let's move it down a bit. Looks fine. This one here, so let's select this vertex here, GZ, move it quite a bit up, and GZ, move it quite a bit up, and tap. So this looks fine, and then tap. Let's have a look at this one here. This is too much outside. GX, move it inward. GX, move it a little inward. GX, move it a little bit inward. Tap. So everything is covered. Control S, so the phone is quite covered. It's kind of weird. I don't understand why this mirror modifier here is giving me the problems that it's giving me. I don't know. Let's see. Number 3. Let's see where the problem is originating. Tap. Select GY. Let's just move it in. And tap. Let's see. It looks fine. Tap. Let's deselect and see. Yeah. I'm convinced. Otherwise, this will be a single problem that gives me the runarounds. But this phone, so far, the screen looks fine. Control S. So guys, I'll see you in the next one when we start creating all these other beautiful features as well. The screen is fine. So in the next part, guys, we will be creating what? We will be creating the front and the back. So we can be using this this image here to see, because the reference image is still there to help us create this. So we will be creating this camera here, we'll be creating this camera here, and this one actually we can use we don't have to create anything. We can just use the texture to texture this area here, and then on this one here we will create the part, and then we'll texture this part here. So see you guys on the next one.